Hi, my name's McNulty. Welcome back to Grief Inspired. Now today I have a very special video that I didn't intend on creating, but I've had my own loss very recently, and I've learned that grief needs a place to go. Grief needs to be spoken. And so today's video, I am speaking my own truth to honor my friend Brittany, who was taken from this world far too soon. And my first loss that was really significant in my life was 12 years ago when I lost a child. And I didn't know that I was going to be able to make it, to survive it, to come back from it. And certainly I didn't know if I was ever going to be happy again. And it took me several years, but I figured it out. I learned how to grieve. I learned what was important. I learned how to come to terms with the fact that everyone will die and that loss happens, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. And Brittany was far too young and had 2 young boys and a husband, and it's not fair. And it makes grieving really hard. But it's also what brought Grief Inspired out of me. It's what drives me to do these videos, because I know that if you're suffering a loss, how hard it is for you, and how meaningful and impactful losing someone can be, and how significant it can be to our life. So when I created Grief Inspired, I now want to redefine how the world grieves. And the purpose of Grief Inspired and all of these videos and everything that I do is to bring light to the darkness of grief, to give hope for a new, albeit different future for you as the person who's suffering the loss, to remind you that you're not alone as you grieve, and to encourage the personal growth that's required to find true happiness and to find joy again, because it is possible. And so Brittany was taken from this world far too soon, and she was special to me. I met her in some of the courses that I've been taking, and we became fast friends. And although I've never met her in person, we've talked quite a bit on the phone, and she's had a very significant impact on my life. And so I've never got to hug her. I've never got to shake her hand. I've never gotten to really tell her how important and special she was to me, because I thought that we had more time. This was obviously very unexpected, and but as I think on this and as I grieve her loss, I'm reminded and want to share how precious life is and how important the people are that we love, and that as a society we need to focus on what's truly important, and we need to let go of what's petty and inconsequential. We need to live for today, because as they say, tomorrow is never promised. And we need to remember that, and loss reminds us of that. Losing Brittany for me reminds me of that. And it reminds me to be grateful for the conversations that I did have with her, to be grateful for the impact that she had on my life, to be grateful for the love that I feel now, that it's the love that's creating my pain, the memories that we shared, and to be grateful for the little moments, the really little things that we might miss if we don't pay attention and try to remember them, because the little moments are the ones that are so very precious to us. And I'm reminded that grieving is an ongoing process, and it encourages growth. And when I say growth, I mean personal growth, growth within. And it keeps going. It keeps going. I don't think that it ever ends. And honestly, I don't think that it should. It's growth within, knowing who you are, knowing what you value, knowing what's really important to you, and making sure that every thought you have, every conversation you have, and every action that you engage in is a choice. And it should be a choice that's not taken lightly, and it should be purposeful, and it should be meaningful. And so I want to encourage you through my loss, and in honor of Brittany, who was so special to so many people. She truly was a light. She was light in the darkness, and she was selfless and kind. And her loss is going to create a really big void in my life and in the life of so many others. But I want to encourage you to take time today to reassess your life, reassess what's important to you, reassess the thoughts that you're having, the conversations that you're engaging in, and the actions that you're taking. And I want to encourage you to know what you're grateful for, and to speak that gratitude to others. And then commit to yourself to continue that growth, to make life have more meaning, to lean into the love, knowing that it may bring you more pain, but knowing that that pain is worth it, because without the pain, there would be no love. And so Grief Inspired redefines how the world grieves. And I want to encourage you to redefine how you grieve, to shift your perspective, and to find light, even in the times of darkness, and to share it with others, to connect with others. Speak your truth. Speak who they were to you, why they were important to you, and always, always be in gratitude for what you did have, as opposed to focusing on the pain of what you've lost. Love to each and every one of you today. Thank you, as always, for watching these videos. And if I can help you on your grief journey, please let me know. Please reach out at griefinspired@gmail.com. Please find my grief video or my grief journal that I have on Amazon now, and work through your grief, because you'll be glad that you did. Because for me, even with all of the pain that I feel at Brittany's loss today, my heart is bursting with that same amount of love for her. and for all of you, because that's what gives my life purpose. That's what brings me joy. It's where I find my own meaning. God bless you. Hug somebody today. Call someone that you haven't talked to. Let people know how important they are to you. Live for today, because tomorrow is never promised.